words like spirit and soul because, remember that albatross? If we go spirit and soul, then science just hangs us out. It says, nope. As a matter of fact, I will be explicit and say, chiropractic philosophy would suggest that this medicatrix nature, this innate intelligence, is completely and totally natural. It's as much a part of the natural universe as the energies and the matter that your body makes out. But it's not an energy and it's not matter. As a matter of fact, what is it? Several other people have used a term that I use, actually. It's a consciousness. It's thought. If I think my brain has a mind that can have a thought, why do I have such a hard time thinking that my whole body has a mind that has thoughts? Actually, it is completely indefensible not to conclude that your brain, that your mind, which is a more complex brain than your neurological brain, has just as much thought as your brain and more because it has other thoughts. As a matter of fact, current physiology tells us you got a whole new brain. How many have ever heard of the enteric brain? Anybody into the enteric brain? Well, what have we got to figure out? You got a new brain. You got this brain. You got the autonomic brain. You got the conscious brain. Now you got the enteric brain. Because we're adding more ways that things are connected, which allows a consciousness to emerge and exist and function. Guess what? We're just building one step at a time until we're going to get to the body brain. Gustav's book, The Body Has a Mind. That's actually the vitalistic concept right there. Not a spiritual concept, but it's also not a physical concept. Any more than your brain's mind is physical. Your brain's mind is considered an epiphenomenon of the physical things. But you could also say your mind is a primary thing. It's a primary aspect of your brain. Okay? Then how are you missing the fact that the brain, the body that the brain is a part of, also has that? So, straight vitalistic philosophic proposition. Vitalism is not a force. Vitalism is not a name for something. Vitalism is, and someone else said this, and I'm sorry I didn't attribute it properly, an ethos. Yes, Monica said it was an ethos. It's a belief, it's a recognition of, but what is it really? It's a recognition of the natural, not supernatural, not inexplicable, not some other class of phenomenon, the natural, self-developing, self-maintaining, self-evolving, and self-healing abilities of each and every individual living thing and therefore of life itself. The word natural is italicized intentionally to emphasize, make clear that vitalism does not require the acceptance of any particular belief about what exists beyond nature. Although it also doesn't mean that vitalism somehow contradicts the possibility of soul, God, or anything else. Vitalism is the proposition that wherever that comes from, and however it expresses itself, we recognize that there is that wisdom, and that it's intrinsic to us. Someone else earlier said a beautiful thing. They said, you could be sick, but this would lose power. You can't reduce the strength of your innate intelligence just because your body is damaged. Your innate intelligence may not be able to express itself as well through a damaged body, but it hasn't weakened innate intelligence. My innate intelligence isn't any stronger than your innate intelligence, or weaker than your innate intelligence, because that principle we're talking about isn't energetic or material, but it's intrinsic to every natural phenomenon.